So we've looked at the first three pieces or elements of the combination to a successful relationship: the importance of the space between, of safety, and of mastering the safe conversation process. The fourth piece of the puzzle is some understanding of Imago Relationship Therapy. And I think Harville and Helen, their great intuitive insight was their connection, making the connection between the unconscious image. They call it the imago. It's a Latin word for image. We form of our primary caretakers, that kids, it's unconscious, but they have an image or an imprint of the person who loves me, who takes care of me, who meets all my needs. And the connection between that image and the mate selection, all right? And that insight forms the backbone of Imago Relationship Therapy. And their theory, for me, simply helps people better understand what they're already a part of, but thus prepares them better to deal with the issues that are going to arise. So, if you're in a committed relationship, here's an interesting question you can think about. Why are you with the person you're with? It's not a bad question, because most men will have met many other women. Most women will have met many other men by the time they come to form an intimate relationship. So why the two of you are the one you're with? So here's another interesting question. Can you remember when you first met your partner? Can you remember when you first met your partner? Everybody asks that question who can. Everybody. You know, I can't remember what I did yesterday, but I can remember 50 years ago when I met my wife. So what's going on? And so from an Imago perspective, you're with the right person. But, or why? Well, Imago's explanation is, and it's been borne out with the couples that I've worked with over the years, is that the person you're with often has some of the positive, but also some of the negative traits of your family of origin, of that person that, you know, that image you have of the person who loves me, who meets all my needs, who takes care of me. And think about it. Your parents weren't perfect. Their parents weren't perfect. You're not perfect. I'm not perfect. So inevitably, that image or the imago has both positive and negative traits. It doesn't mean anything. It's just the way it is. And then in the romantic love stage of the relationship, you tend to get attracted to the positives. It makes for a strong connection. But all we're saying is that inevitably, some of those negative traits will show up, and now you got to learn to talk to each other about them. And that's the safe conversation process. Because on a conscious level, you know, we're just looking for a good-looking guy or gal. But your unconscious, which, as we know, is often driving the bus, is looking for someone similar enough to the one who loved you, who took care of you, who met all your needs. And think about it. As humans, we tend to go towards what we need, or what's familiar, what we know, all right? And when it comes time to search for a life partner, there seems to be an unconscious attraction to someone who resembles that original imprint. You know, when I was conducting the workshops, someone would say, well, I met her in a bar, and we'd all laugh, and sure. But then I'd say, well, wait a minute now. Come on, there was probably 10 other women in that bar, all young, all pretty, all smart. So why this one? And I'm sure on an unconscious level, he scanned them all, but only one came close enough to that image, that imprint he already had in his head of the person who loves me, who takes care of me, who meets all my needs, to deserve a second look. You know, I can't prove it, but I see it every day in the office. Anyway, so from an Imago perspective, then the last piece of the puzzle of the combination lock is that you're with the right person, but there's work to be done. You do have the blueprint for each other's growth towards wholeness, but you have to be conscious of the intricacies of that blueprint, because none of us are perfect. And all we're saying is that those there's going to be things to talk about, is all we're saying. The past does indeed affect the present, since none of us had all of our needs met 100% as children. And Harville and Helen conclude that really the unconscious purpose of marriage is to finish childhood and to go on and live your best life. So the unconscious purpose of marriage is to finish childhood, get the needs met you didn't get met as a kid, and go on and live your best life. And on my business card it says, the tools are available in today's world to have the relationship of your dreams. But it has to be safe. You want to protect the space between. Realize you're probably with somebody who at the start will activate old stuff, and you have to find a way to talk to each other in a safe way. Okay, have a great week. Cheers.